Hey everyone, welcome back to the NES Archive, where we are taking a look at the North American NES library, one game at a time. Today's game was originally released for the Nintendo Entertainment System on October 18th, 1985. The game is Stack Up. Stack Up was part of the Robot series of games. It was really more of a puzzle game, and honestly, I almost don't really feel like it's a video game, even though you have to have a TV to play it. The tagline reads, "Here's a high-tech, high-strategy juggling act that is loads of fun." On the back of the box, it says, "Are you up to the challenge? You've got to get Rob, the world's first robotic operating buddy, to stack a pile of colored discs to match the colored pattern on the screen." This exciting robot game can be played several ways. In the direct mode, you have to match the pattern in the shortest number of moves. In the memory mode, you can program up to 100 robot moves as you try to match the pattern. In the bingo mode, an on-screen alien keeps changing the pattern, preventing you from completing your mission. Inside, you'll find 5 colored discs and 5 disc holders along with the game pack. Everything you need to play Stack Up. The developer of the game was Nintendo R&D 1, as was the case with most of the NES launch games. The game was produced by Gunpei Yokoi. He was the inventor of the Game & Watch, the Game Boy, the Virtual Boy. He's pretty prolific in Nintendo history. The game was directed by Satoru Okada, who was also director on Balloon Fight as well as Fire Emblem Gaiden. The co-director was Makoto Kano, who worked on Super Metroid and did art for Kid Icarus. Programming was done by Toshiyuki Nakamura, who went on to produce games like Fire Emblem Fates and Tetris Attack, which is one of my favorite games. And the sound was by none other than Hirokazu Tanaka. He worked on so many games that we've heard, games like Gumshoe and Balloon Fight. He really is one of the all-time greats. For some reason, the Robot series of games had different titles in-game than on the box. For instance, Gyromite was called Robot Gyro, and Stack Up was called Robot Block. I'm not sure why they made this change. It's kind of weird. I always wanted to have my own Rob. This is as close as I ever got. I wasn't able to test this game because you absolutely have to have Rob in order to play it. With Gyromite, I was able to fake it. I plug in 2 controllers and I was able to play the game probably better than you could originally with actually having Rob. But with Stack Up, you just hit start when you've matched what they ask you to do. So basically the way that the game works is they will show you a pattern of colors and you have to get Rob to stack up those same colors, but the game doesn't know if you've done this or not. All you have to do is push start. Because the game can't verify it, you can just hit start every time and be done. I mean, that certainly isn't a fun way to play, but because I don't have a Rob, I can't play this one. The game seems like it has the potential of being fun though, kind of in the same way that those triangle golf tee jumping games are fun that you play in restaurants. When the game came out, it got pretty good reviews. Generation 4 gave the game a 70, while Tilt Magazine gave it a 90. Both of those magazines are in French, so I'll have to paraphrase. Gen 4 said, "Halfway between education and strategy, Stack Up is particularly aimed at school children from 6 to 12 years old. While playing this game, it will contribute to their education." Tilt Magazine said, "This cartridge intelligently exploits the capabilities of Rob the robot to train in the logic of programming." So the way that the game works is you have left, right, up, down, open, and close as buttons for you to push. You move Professor Hector onto those buttons, and as you push those buttons, Rob corresponds with whatever movement that you have. So if you need to pick up something in slot 1 and move it to slot 3, you would, let's say that you start where Rob's already in the right position, you would close his hands, and then you would say up, so it would pick up the disc, or for some reason these circular things are called blocks. Rob would then pick up that, and then you would say left twice, so then it would move over left twice, and then you would say down and open, and that would cause Rob to drop the disc or the block in the right place. I watched a few videos of how the game was played, and it is painfully slow. Rob is so slow. I can't imagine the game ever being popular because Rob is just so slow. Gyromite was popular because it was a pack-in, I think, whereas Stack Up seems like something that I would have spent 20 minutes setting up to play, only to get discouraged that it takes nearly as long to move the puzzle pieces around. Of course, I'm being a little, I'm exaggerating for effect there. A little bit of trivia about the game. All Stack Up game pack cartridges contain a 60-pin circuit board of a Famicom cartridge attached to a 72-pin adapter, which you can then remove the adapter and you can use it on other Famicom games in order to make them compatible with the Nintendo Entertainment System. However, it's probably not something that you want to do because Stack Up wasn't super popular, so there's not a lot of copies out there, and because of that, they're actually worth quite a bit. Taking one apart to get the adapter might not be the best idea. I think you're probably better off finding a copy of Gyromite and seeing how much they weigh. The normal Gyromite cartridge is 3.5 ounces, while the one that has an adapter inside will weigh about 4.5 ounces. Well, since I never actually got a chance to play this game, I'm relying on you. Did you ever get a chance to play Stack Up? Was it as horrible as it seems? Let me know. Well, that's it for this episode of NES Archive. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.